Welcome to Learning Blindness. Every day I make myself complete a task. I don't allow myself to just give up. I tell myself, you have to get this done today. And I think for me it's healthy because, I'm reaching a goal and not allowing myself to just kind of cocoon. Sorry for the noise. So let's talk disability and the process of disability with eyesight problems. So Usher syndrome is on the compassionate list of disabilities, meaning that it should be processed first or given a priority for processing. There's also a different work criteria with blindness. So regular disability, you have to have, I'm not a disability expert, but I think it's 20 points within the past 10 years. For eyesight problems, it's 40 credits your whole lifetime of working. So it doesn't, if you worked from say 20 to 35, and then you had a family and you were staying home with your babies or whatever, but you got your 40 credits in, then if you come down with blindness at 45, those 40 credits still count towards your work credits for disability. You don't have to have recent credits. So for us, we've always put all of our business activities, business income, under my husband when we filed joint. So it wasn't, we didn't give myself a different W-2. We just put it all under him when we had our businesses or homes or rental properties or whatever. So when it came for disability, I had my 40 work credits from earlier in life. And as a couple, I had income from the last 10 years, but it was a joint. So disability, where I am, has a severe lack of knowledge when it comes to this criteria. I had to get nonprofits involved or associations for the blind all the way up into Washington to help get the information that Social Security had, I guess didn't know where to find, about this statute. I know. So when I first applied, they denied because of work credits. Well, three times, there was only one lady local, one, who understood it and knew about the work credit statute with Social Security. So she tried, and the step after her is where it was getting the confusion. It took 3 months to get it moved to the next step, because the people who moved it to the next step did not understand or did not have the knowledge they needed to process a blind claim. I even got hung up on by Social Security when I called and they said, "Oh, no, you don't have the work credits." And I said, "Well, yes, but there is a statute." And one lady even said, "We are the experts. We know that there's not," and hung up. So it was mind blowing. So I had to get some nonprofits involved and some Congress people involved to help Social Security to understand their own criteria. Everybody, all my physicians, all my caretakers, everywhere, they had written, I think, a total of like 5 letters to Social Security saying that I fit all the criteria. And Social Security decided that their experts which were a pediatrician, an internal medicine doctor, and a family practice doctor. Those were their experts on eye issues. I asked them every time I talked to them, and I called about once a week, "Who do you want me to see out of Social Security? What doctor do you want me to see? What test do you want me to have? What is it that I can do for you to help?" And one Congress person's office was not so good. The other one was fabulous. And part of the difference between the two was that when I had talked to the office of one of the Congress people, they automatically took the position that I didn't know what I was talking about, and that I didn't qualify. And they weren't medical people. They were just they just worked there. So that didn't work out. So then the other Congress person was fabulous, absolutely fabulous. She was understanding. She listened. She did not appreciate Social Security and the way they were acting. They even took my case and told me that my case was in Columbia, Columbia, and that it was under a certain person's case files. So when I was calling there, for some reason, I could never get a hold of this person, ever. So we were down there to go to the base, the military base. And because my husband is a veteran. And when we were there, I called and I said, "We are here. Why don't we just stop by? We can try to figure out whatever the issue is." Lo and behold, my case was never there. And I asked, "Who have I been talking to? Then, who have I been leaving messages for? You guys told me my case was here." And I've been leaving messages for this caseworker who you have been transferring me to, and now you're saying that it was never here? Um, so that was disturbing, to say the least. Anyways, I ended up having to do a hearing. And in my hearing, thankfully, my judge was also sight impaired. And as we talked about my case, I had had all of the tests required by Social Security. I even had them interpreted word for word in layman's terms by my physicians for Social Security. Because the test that you have to take is called a Humphreys 30-2. And those tests are not easy to calculate. You have to do mathematics and grading and all this stuff. So their specialist, pediatrician, internal medicine, family doctor, were the ones responsible for reading these tests, not any physician that had a specialty in eyes. So I even had those interpreted for them. So move it along. And when my judge went over everything, he was so put out that my case was determined in 8 days, which the attorney had never seen a judge move so fast. 8 days. And within, I guess it was within 2 weeks, I was getting my first payment, my back payment, everything. I was getting everything so fast that it wasn't even updating on the site. And my attorney's office was shocked. Never, they said never have they had a judge move that fast, ever. So, in saying this, if I had not had the tenacity to push and to call and to get information myself that Social Security was supposed to be the experts on, if I had not had a little tough skin where when they hung up on me or they told me I didn't know what I was talking about, I would have never gotten disability. So if you are dealing with Social Security disability, I hope your experience is better. I hope where you live, maybe the employees are different. I know where I am, it was horrible. It was absolutely just ridiculous. There are tests you have to do. So you have to have a Humphreys 30-2, which is a test that tests your visual field. I had genetics. I had several Humphreys. I had letters from my retinologist, my ophthalmologist, my optometrist, my PCP, the nonprofit. It was not easy. And for someone who is in the depths of trying to deal with this illness, on top of all the financial issues that come along with not being able to drive, function the way you were before, it can be extremely disheartening and stressful and just hopeless. But if your doctors say you qualify, and your tests say you qualify, and the statutes say you qualify, you keep pushing. Keep pushing. If you are in that situation and you are stuck, you can give me a message and I can give you all the tests and statutes that you need. Well, I don't think all of them, but the ones that I am aware of that eventually led to my case being determined to be completely what is that word? To be completely approved by our judge. So don't give up. Keep pushing. And I'm on a mission where I know that it will be better for the next person. Because we, Usher said, and I'm on a mission also to have the whole of Usher considered when you apply for disability, not just visual field, but balance, hearing, depression, anxiety, all of it should be considered when they're looking at disability for Usher syndrome, not just visual field. Because as well, you don't. Usher patients, Usher positive people know how all of these other things affect your life and your well-being. So let's keep pushing, keep moving forward. We have to for the next generation, right? If we don't, the next generation may be in the same spot that we're in today. Okay, you guys take care. I'll see you on the next one.